Hello and welcome. In this session, we'll be discussing on how to manage data. I would like to add, for this particular discussion, we are going to refer only the electronic data. There are two approaches to manage this data. They are the file-based approach and the database approach. First, let us see what is the file-based approach for managing data. Formally, the file-based approach has been identified to be an approach that utilizes a collection of application programs which provides services to end users. Each program in this approach defines and manages its own data. Well, to visualize this approach, we may think about any software bundle where various application programs are implemented to perform different tasks. A simple example for the file-based approach could be a software package where we may have used the word processor to utilize a text document and an image viewer for the graphic files. Now we'll try to dig a bit deeper and to realize the shortcomings of this file-based approach using a simple example. For simplicity, we'll consider only one type of files. Let the register office of the university has prepared a master file where student ID, name, contact number, due amount, CGPA, credit completed are stored. The office will later prepare and share contents from the master file to different interest groups. In this case, we are going to consider data of 3 students. As you may have noticed, the master file contains several confidential data. Hence, while sharing this with the students, we need to individualize the data. Therefore, we are required to prepare 3 versions of the master file while sharing them with the students. Again, let us assume the registration office also needs to prepare a file for the accounts department, who only requires student ID, name, contact number, and due amount. The register office has also prepared the attendance sheet for 2 courses, where in one course all the 3 of our students are enrolled, and in the other course 2 of the students are enrolled. Now you can see from the master file we are required to prepare 6 different versions. In this approach, we usually don't assume to get any support of an automated system which will keep track of the files and the contents. Therefore, the register office has to keep track or has to prepare the map of the files manually. Right at the moment, it might be a bit doable, but if you consider a system where we have thousands of students, then such activities become so cumbersome. Besides, you can also see the current layout suffers from data redundancy. There are duplicity which is completely uncontrolled. Next, let's assume our student 1 has a new contact number. Again, ensuring the update across the board is not guaranteed. So, we may see the old and the new contact number for student 1 coexisting in the system. So, you can see this is not a good sign for any system. Therefore, we can also say this particular approach suffers from data inconsistency. On the other hand, in the database approach, data is collected and manipulated using specific software, which is called the database management system, and many other programs share this data. Actually, this is a centralized method where the DBMS generates different views for different users according to their access right. So this DBMS helps in efficiently organizing the data in the database. Now we'd like to see the benefits of the database approach over the file-based one. Well, in the database approach, minimize redundancy, and data consistency is assured. It is normalized in the database approach to minimize the redundancy, which will help in keeping data consistent. For example, student information can be kept at one place in the database approach and accessed by different users. The next benefit of the database approach can be defined as the simplified data access mechanism. In the database approach, a user needs only the name of the relation, not the exact location of their data, to access or to process it. In the database approach, different views of the same data can be created to address the needs of different user groups. For instance, students' accounts information can be hidden from the faculty view, which can be again shown at the admin level. Moreover, only authorized users are allowed to access the data in the database approach. Also, data can be encrypted by the database management system, which makes it more secure. Again, data can be accessed concurrently by different users at the same time in the database approach. Lastly, in the database approach, backup and recovery mechanism can be applied, which will help to avoid data loss and data inconsistency in case of catastrophic failures.